strong breakdown in the market for this week, and we'll be talking about majorly three things this week. One is the monetary policy. The second one is the quote report and technical view of the market. But just like we do before, we always start with the technical view, then we go into the quote report and the monetary policy, which I always explain together. So we start with Bitcoin and what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. Based on technical view, Bitcoin is still bearish. It's trending to the downside right here, which you can see. Trending to this area after selling. Do I also have my POI around here for market to come and trade into this level before a bearish bias? So I'm still bearish on this bet. If it can give us what more bearish expansion or come up here with confirmation before I start looking for sell. So these are the two things I'm expecting on Bitcoin. So we shift to gold. Good has been bullish last week. All right. So we have some bullish movement right here. After that, some retracement. Then news helping good give us what buy movement to the upside. So I've gotten this news movement to the upside. I'm expecting market to give us the continuation of buy. Now there are two areas I'm expecting pullbacks. One is within this imbalance, which is very important that market can use it as a pullback level or above this level. So which is the last mitigated POI that market will possibly use. So these are the two POI we will use. So if I decide to refine this POI even further, you have a short-term mitigation right here on this 5 minutes. So around this 1 hour time frame, we can have something like this as area where price can react from. So we have smaller POI just right here and another one right here. So we have these POIs right here. These are for pullbacks. So I mark out this area with this imbalance right here where market can what easily give us what a sell opportunity or a deeper retracement, not just a retracement like this type of say shallow, but rather something like this, a deeper retracement, just like we have right here. So a deeper retracement. So we expect a deeper retracement in the market within possibly these zones. So, and these zones are from higher time frame, not from lower time frame. So they are daily time frame POI. Those two zones are from daily POI. This and this, they are from daily POI. So we'll have it right there. So here we have our next POI where market can what usually give us what some pullbacks before we start seeing more buy movement. So my expectation for this week is what a pullback, then a buy continuation. So there are two things I'm expecting: a pullback into this level, then a buy, or a pullback into this level, then a buy. Now the most important part of this is the confirmation. So we wait for. So we wait for market to give what a confirmation we buy. And we majorly have two type of pullbacks. One is what consolidating uh, or ranging market. When market is ranging to the downside gradually without strength, it will not have any strength. If it has a strength, that means sellers are into the market. So you have that right there. A short-term pullback until market give you what? Get to your point of interest, give you a break of structure, then a buy confirmation to the upside. Another one is what? Market ranging within structure range, then manipulate below it with a speed, then a buy. So manipulation, this is what just a short-term pullback or a short-term retracement. So something like this, something of this nature. So that is it raised a little around this area, give a sharp movement to the downside before expansion. The same thing will probably happen on lower time frame around this area also. Then, but you have here this type of pullback is what it range till you get to a point of interest and drop. Right. So these are mostly the two type of pullbacks that we have. They also have another one which is kind of a little bit more complex. Just market sweeping liquidity, kind of like a high, a low, a high, then come to sweep it without much ranging. So just simple low and a continuation. So those are mainly the type of pullbacks that we have. But that one happen not always. So these two are the major ones we have in the market. So we look at other pairs like Euro USD. Now on Euro USD, last week I've been bullish, just that the monetary policy on USD is heavily affecting the whole market. So I didn't trade that much last week. So this week I'll be more involved in the market. So right here we have a break of structure to the upside also to the downside right here, but this is the current break of structure to the upside. So which symbolize bullish expansion. So this shows us that we will likely be looking for a buy program. So here we have this structure range. I'm expecting market to come into this breaker area before a buy program will continue. So that's my major view. A buy program within this area for structural continuation to the upside. And if market decides to go lower, my next PY will be from here to this level, not necessarily the wick, because the body of the candle, right? The body of this candle without including the wick. So this will be my next POI. So this is the primary POI, while this is the secondary POI. First and the second POI. So primary, secondary. So the one, two. So I have two POIs right here. So we'll be targeting this high and possibly this high. These are the two next major move market will be likely be targeting. So right there we have one next POI. And if market get above this, the next POI is I'm expecting market to what? Before we see any retracement, is above this POI. Right here, this can be an SPOI. Then another one is just right here also. So these are the two major areas we'll be focusing on in terms of what pullbacks in the market. So here and here. So but that does not mean it cannot pull back within this area. It can pull back within this area, mostly within this area where market is, to give us some retracement before we buy program. And what I'm saying now is currently being influenced by um, monetary policy, because I've already read about the monetary policy before giving the outlook. All right. So right here we also have the center market give a deep retracement right here and trade into this area. And one of my students actually caught this trade from just from here, and he just trade only maybe probably about two or three models that he focused on, and he's doing well with those particular model. So right here we have market trading into this imbalance right here, plus inducement of this low, then a buy program to the upside. Right here we have engulfing plus CRT. So this makes sense that we'll wait for market within this level. So I would prefer market coming into 50% of this range without going below 50% of it. So if I'm to mark my POI, I'll mark 50% of this as my POI if market decide to return to this level. But that is if it will. Then once market get to this level, I will wait for confirmation. I don't just enter as market is pulling back. No, I'll wait for confirmation. So another area where market can easily buy again is within this candle right here. So how this area, which is kind of like a breaker block. So if you have this breaker as a breaker block, you can go to 1 hour time frame, even refine it more based on what mitigation or based on where market mitigated price last. So I can actually pick above this level right here. I can actually pick this level right here within that level. So these are my two POIs that I'm expecting this pair to also buy from here or from here. But this does not mean you cannot just buy or continue buying from here. So you can give a short term pullback and continue buying to the upside. So that is another of my view. Then I have GPP, GPY. This pair, I'm also bearish. I'm also monitoring it on higher time frame, but I'm waiting for what a proper confirmation. Even Arrow GPY, I'm also monitoring that pair and waiting for a proper confirmation for a buy. Now, what am I expecting? We have a CRT reversal right here, a CRT candle, structure point low, a CRT low plus structure point low right here. So this shows us that market is expecting what? A bearish expansion. But has it given us a full confirmation that we're going to sell? Answer is no. So what do I need? I need what? Another engulfing. So as market is giving us this pullback right here, so I need market to what? Give us what? It can pull back. It can give this deep pullback to this range. All right. If this low, let's say for example, is able to get to this low, that will even be better. But I don't expect it to get to this low. So I expect it not to trade above this particular POI. So to trade within this POI before I'll be looking for a sell program. So what will I be looking for? A high into this level, a higher high, higher low, a lower low right here, engulfing, right, engulfing this low, possible lower low, a lower high, then a lower low. If this is able to engulf again, I will send this as what a signal for us all to take a sell program right here. Then this is what a low risk trade. So that means is a high probability setup. So, but in this entry is more risky. All right. So it's a what, a low or mid probability setup. Why taking this is absolutely a low probability setup, because at that point there's no confirmation in the market. At that point, you are just only trading off of what, point of interest, and trading off from point of interest requires experience. All right, that requires experience. So this is one of the another major I'm also monitoring. Now we have AUD USD. Now this pair at the current moment is not too strong, neither is it too weak. But USD, based on the Fed expecting to cut interest rate, this has boosted almost all currency, which has weakened the dollar against other currencies. So this can give us an edge that we can expect what market to give us what, a buy program on across all these pairs. And right here, we can see clearly that market is yet to mitigate within this particular candle before. And since it has yet mitigated, I expect market to what, mitigate 50% of it, which will be what, within this POY. So this area where market is currently, market can start to close below it, but I still want market to close within this level before a buy program continuation. So I expect what, a structure continuation from here or into this level before a pullback, then a rally above this level into this nearest point of interest again, which will probably be around this level. So this is what I'm expecting on this particular pair. Then we also have another pair, which is New Zealand USD. So I have two PY I've already marked. Market has already induced the whole liquidity it needs here. So this is clear. Break of structure and inducement. Okay, so since we have gotten this can be what, a bullish expansion, because we have what, a vacuum, a void neighbor right here, which market can use to give us a buy program right here. So this is our structure high, and we have a CRT reversal right here. So one can have another POI just within this level, or you can even refine it down to H4 time frame, or even down to 15 minutes time frame to have what, a possible pullback or a possible POI for a buy program. So this will be my POI for a buy program. So right here, I'm waiting for market now to give us what, a clear break of structure to the upside. Then you continue buying. But the first thing now is what, we trade a pullback. After trading the pullback, if market give us what, reason to sell. But if the sell does not align with fundamental analysis, that means I'm not selling that pair. Even if technical analysis is still signifying that we should what, sell. So wait for market what, and that give us a break of structure at that point, and possibly fundamental to start supporting it. We can look for more buy to the upside. So that can take a long time. So for a short term view, the most important thing is that we are expecting market to give us a retracement, right? That means a buy program. So that is our major focus for the week. On USD JPY, I don't trade it that much of recent because of how market has been moving on the pair. So, but right here we have a consolidation, short-term manipulation to the upside, then market is expanding to the downside. So I'm expecting market to drop deeper into the structural range. So as market dropping deeper into the structural range, we have this candle right here, which can act as our next POI. I will also have this area based candle, but I will only have this major POI right here. Then we'll have this, which is perfectly then which is USD shelf. So market has traded into this POI right here, giving us a confirmation, right? Giving us a confirmation. This implies that we'll be looking for a sell program. This implies that we'll be looking for a sell program. Since we're expecting a sell program, and that's what market is actually giving us right here. And we're getting a mitigation right here. And this also, though these two are yet to mitigate each other, this structure high is right here. So we can expect market within any of them before it sell continuation to the downside and possibly what's taking out this standard low. So on this pair, I'm bearish on this pair. Since USD is becoming weak based on the current rumor we have. Then we have USD card. Market has been what, bullish for a while now, but on Friday we have a bearish market which cover almost 2 days or almost 3 days within the week. So we are now expecting more drop in the price into this level or into this level. So these are the major views I have for the week. So that's all for the week. Now we go into the quote report that we have at hand. So on the gold report, we have right here Australian dollar. On the Australian dollar, right here, we understand that markets on UD side, they added what about 13,000 short position and about 6,000 long position. So overall, sellers were in control, which was why we're seeing more of sellers were in control, which was why on Saturday, because everybody were expecting that buy on that Saturday, even if they were selling earlier on. So they were just dipping to the downside first before that heavy buy. So that buy was the major move of the week. That was what could report was more of what interpretive, not the sell that happened across all those USD pairs. So they themselves were using those sell across all multiple pairs as what manipulation to the downside before that heavy buy to the upside, which was what I was expecting last week, a bullish market. And it actually happened, though it happened with the help of the news. So right here, we also have a Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar, they close 1,000 position and open 1,000 um, short positions. So this shows that what this is not too strong, neither is it weak. But on USD side, USD is also very weak in terms of their monetary policy. All right, not totally on code report. So we look at code report on USD today also. So right here we have Swiss francs, which did the same thing, added what more buy positions. So this shows that what Swiss francs is getting stronger little by little. Then we have Euro, and on Euro is actually getting stronger. So this also support our bullish program on EU on Euro USD. Then British pounds, the same thing is expected to become also stronger. So you can see it right here, 7,000 position and 6,000 closed. So we're expecting more strength. The same thing on JPY. We're also expecting more strength on JPY because as of last week, they're expecting JPY to also gain strength, which can also affect this coming week. So here we have New Zealand. New Zealand, they're expected to gain strength also, which can also affect it for a bullish continuation to the upside. Then here we have what US dollar index. So almost the same thing. They closed 1,600 short position added and also closed 1,370 long position. So overall, USD is not too strong or too weak in terms of the code report, but in terms of monetary policy, we are expecting USD to be weaker based on the Fed or Powell, based on the president, based on what he's saying on good reports. So we're expecting USD to be weaker this week for us to expect what bullish expansion. And that's all for today's weekly outlook or today's weekly program. So see you guys in our next outlook and see you later on where we'll be updating my views across major pairs for the week. Take care, good luck, and good trading.